There's a town in America where ambulances sometimes travel through another country before reaching a hospital, where the only road out leads into Canada, where children cross an international border before reaching school, and where driving to the rest of the United States means leaving the United States first. Then the pandemic came, and suddenly America felt very far away. Not because of war, not because it's an island, because of a line on a map.
Strange ground.
This is Point Roberts. Point Roberts sits quietly at the bottom of a peninsula. Water surrounds it on three sides. Canada sits above it, and the United States is somewhere beyond that. At first glance, nothing feels impossible. There are homes, roads, a marina, a grocery store, quiet suburban streets. The kind of place people might pass through without realizing anything is strange. But if you try to leave by car, the road does not take you deeper into America. It takes you to a border checkpoint. To leave town by land, residents cross into Canada first, before crossing back into the United States again. Every ordinary trip becomes international travel. In most towns, borders are something on maps. Here, the border is part of the day. It shapes where children go to school, how deliveries arrive, where customers come from, how residents reach hospitals, airports, and the rest of Washington. Mail routes, tourism, school transportation, even basic routines revolve around the Canadian border. For decades, people simply adapted to it. The crossings were inconvenient, but familiar. A normal errand became international travel. A small American town became dependent on another country staying open. Then COVID came. The border closed to most non-essential travel, and Point Roberts changed almost overnight. The visitors stopped. The traffic disappeared. Businesses lost the Canadians they depended on. Roads became quiet. Some residents struggled to leave town at all. People described the town as feeling stranded, not by nature, not by distance, by politics and geography. Nothing about the land had changed, but the line on the map suddenly became real. For the first time, many residents fully realized how dependent the town had become on crossing another country. The reason goes back to 1846, when the United States and Britain settled the border in the Pacific Northwest. They chose the 49th parallel, a straight line across the map, clean, simple, political. But the coastline did not care about clean lines. The southern tip of the Tawasin Peninsula dipped below the border, so that piece became American. And Point Roberts was left in a strange position, physically attached to Canada, but belonging to the United States. An American town, physically disconnected from America itself. That is why Point Roberts feels so unreal. It is not a ghost town, not a restricted zone, not a place people are forbidden to enter. It is stranger than that. It is normal, and that is what makes it unsettling.
Because beneath the normal life, every road north leads to another country. Every border rule matters. Every political decision can reach the grocery store, the marina, the school bus, the ambulance route, and the people who live there. Point Roberts is what happens when a map line becomes daily life. A place where a border that technically should not matter can quietly control almost everything.
Modern countries feel permanent. Roads connect, borders operate, systems function quietly in the background. Until they do not. Point Roberts shows how thin that system can be. A town can have homes, businesses, families, and still depend on permission to pass through somewhere else. It belongs to America, but by land, America is on the other side of Canada. That is not dramatic. It is not violent. It is just quietly impossible. And that may be what makes Point Roberts so unsettling. Not because it feels broken, but because it reveals how fragile modern borders really are. Point Roberts exists because one straight line ignored the shape of the land beneath it. And nearly 2 centuries later, people still live inside that decision. An American town, physically attached to Canada, separated from its own country by geography, and connected only because the border allows it. Would you live somewhere your own country can't directly reach by road?
Places like this shouldn't exist, but they do. If you enjoyed this investigation, like the video and subscribe to Strange Ground. And if you're not ready to leave yet, another case is waiting on your screen now. Until next time, stay curious.